The airport was loud, rushed, and indifferent, yet Daniel Cross felt completely invisible as he sat alone near Gate 47. A billionaire CEO known across boardrooms and business magazines, he had never felt smaller in his life. His tailored suit couldn't hide the weight in his chest, the exhaustion in his eyes, or the loneliness that clung to him like a shadow. He stared at the departure screen without really seeing it, replaying the words from the doctor that morning and the silence of a penthouse that no longer felt like home. Then, out of nowhere, a tiny voice cut through the chaos. "Are you lost too, mister?" Daniel blinked and looked down. A little girl with curious eyes and pink sneakers stood in front of him, holding a stuffed rabbit. For the first time in years, someone wasn't looking at him like a powerful man, just a human one. Before Daniel could answer, a woman rushed toward them, fear written across her face. "Emma," she cried, pulling the little girl close. "I told you not to wander." The woman turned to Daniel, apologetic but cautious, her protective instincts fully awake. "I'm so sorry." She talks to everyone. Daniel smiled faintly, raising his hands as if to show he meant no harm. "It's okay," he said softly. Emma peeked from behind her mother's coat. "You didn't answer," she insisted. "Are you lost?" Daniel hesitated, then surprised himself by saying, "Yes, I think I am." The mother froze, confused by the honesty in his voice. Something about the way he said it felt too real to ignore. A delayed flight forced all three of them into the same waiting area cafe. The mother, Sarah, ordered hot chocolate for Emma and coffee for herself, while Daniel quietly paid for everything without mentioning it. As they sat together, Emma chatted endlessly, asking Daniel questions about airplanes, clouds, and whether grown-ups ever felt scared. Sarah watched Daniel closely, noticing the way his guard lowered with her daughter. He wasn't trying to impress, he was listening. When Emma asked why he looked sad, Daniel swallowed hard. "Sometimes," he said, "you win everything you wanted and still lose yourself." Sarah felt something shift inside her. She had no idea this man was one of the richest CEOs in the country, only that he looked deeply, painfully human. Daniel eventually shared fragments of his life. The company he built from nothing. The marriage he ruined by choosing work over love. The daughter he rarely saw, always sick, always distant, surrounded by doctors instead of laughter. "I'm flying to see her," he admitted. "But I don't know how to be the father she needs." Sarah listened quietly, her heart aching for him. She was a single mother, juggling 2 jobs, fighting her own battles just to give Emma stability. Their worlds were supposed to be different, yet the pain sounded the same. Emma reached across the table and held Daniel's finger with her tiny hand. "You should just sit with her," she said. "When I'm sick, Mommy just sits." As Emma went to the restroom with an airport attendant, Sarah finally spoke the truth she rarely shared. Emma had once been lost in a crowded mall for 15 terrifying minutes. Since then, Sarah lived in constant fear of losing her. "I can't afford mistakes," she said quietly. "Life doesn't give second chances easily." Daniel nodded, understanding more than she knew. He had made too many mistakes thinking money could fix them later. The boarding announcement echoed through the terminal, signaling the end of their brief connection. Daniel felt an unexpected ache at the thought of never seeing them again. At the gate, Daniel handed Sarah a simple card. No flashy logo, just a name and number. "If you ever need help," he said. "Even just someone to listen." Sarah hesitated, pride battling necessity, but she accepted it. Emma hugged Daniel's leg tightly. "Don't be lost anymore," she whispered. Daniel bent down, his eyes burning. "I'll try," he promised. As they walked away, Sarah felt a strange certainty that this meeting wasn't an accident. Days later, Daniel sat beside his daughter Lily's hospital bed. Machines beeped softly. She barely looked at him. Remembering Emma's words, he didn't lecture, didn't apologize with expensive gifts. He simply sat. Hour after hour. He listened. For the first time, Lily talked about fear, loneliness, and feeling like a business obligation instead of a child. Daniel broke down, realizing how lost he truly had been. Something changed that day. Lily smiled more. Doctors were surprised. Sometimes healing didn't start with medicine, but presence. Weeks later, Daniel saw Sarah and Emma again, this time at a small park. Emma ran toward him like he was family. Sarah was stunned when she finally learned who he was, but Daniel stopped her apology. "Please," he said, "just see me as that lost man from the airport." He offered Sarah a job, not charity, but a real opportunity, respecting her dignity. More importantly, he offered friendship. Two broken lives slowly began to heal together. Daniel restructured his company, cutting toxic hours, funding children's hospitals, and spending evenings with his daughter. Sarah found stability, and Emma gained a wider world without losing her innocence. Daniel often thought about how one small question from a little girl changed everything. Not a deal, not a billion-dollar decision, just kindness. Sometimes, we are all lost, rich or poor, powerful or invisible. And sometimes, the ones who guide us home are the smallest among us. If this story touched your heart, remember, kindness is never small, and it's never wasted. That if you enjoyed this story, comment below and tell us what part moved you the most. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Be kind always for more emotional stories that remind us what truly matters. Because in a world full of noise, choosing kindness can change a life. Maybe even your own. Red Heart.